Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, my channel where I review my favorite retro video games of all time as well as some modern releases I have recently finished. The modern release I want to look at today is Animal Well. I was really excited about this game. I played it day one because I'd heard so much good press about it, and it did not disappoint in any way. This is a phenomenal platformer with tons of secrets and tons of fun things to do. Now I'll be getting into minor spoiler territory here, mostly talking about items that you'll get along the way. I'll try and stray away from story spoilers and such since this is such a new game. So you're warned here. If you don't want to get any spoilers, go ahead and play the game first. With that out of the way, let's get into what makes Animal Well special. So you play as this little blob dude, and you have basically two options. You can go back and forth, and you can jump. So that's pretty much it. You can move and jump around. As you progress throughout the levels, you'll pick up little things like you have a stick of like a firecracker that you can pick up along the way that you can use to spook little ghosts or light up areas and stuff like that. You'll have fruit on the ground. If you get damaged, you can pick up that fruit to heal yourself. And some of them will give you like temporary HP that's not part of your like 3 heart containers that you have. So it's very basic setup. The art style is absolutely gorgeous. This game is really phenomenal. I love everything about the style of this game. It's really smooth. The soundtrack is really like kind of haunting most of the way through, but it very much feels like a kid's game that an adult can enjoy very, very much. And it's very much an adult game in terms of its platforming because it can be very challenging, especially some of the sections where you learn some of the new items and everything. You have to figure out how to best puzzles and best some of the bosses in unique ways to ultimately triumph in this game. There are a ton of secrets to find in this game. This game is fairly what's the word I'm looking for? This game is fairly it's difficult to figure out everything that there is to find. Like if you're just trying to play and pick up all the cues, most of the things are hidden in the background. So you'll see like at one point you'll get a flute. Now this is one of the few things that you can get fairly early on. You get a flute, and to use the flute, you can actually utilize it to fast travel, which is pretty cool. But you won't know that unless you actually try and experiment around, especially like looking at the background clues like I said before. You will find little flute statues in the background of some of the areas that are not readily visible to you if you're not looking for them. If you stand in front of them and play a flute, it will open up like a gaping maw of an animal that's in this well that you're in. And if you go into it sends you to this hub world. If you unlock all the areas, you have an easy way to fast travel between them. Very, very nice. There's also secrets that you can do, like getting certain songs on the flute that will teleport you to different spots in the game map, which is super helpful. But again, the game doesn't tell you this. It doesn't really tell you a whole lot about anything. When you get a new item, it will tell you the basic function of the item, but it won't give you anything else. One of the earliest items you get in the game is the frisbee. This can be used to distract some dogs that you'll find in the well, or if you bounce it off a wall, you can jump on it and ride it. You can go in between screens with it, flying on this frisbee. It's really beautiful. It's really smart. Something that I was like, I wonder if I could do this. And I tried it, and sure enough, I pop a trophy for it, and I get across a chasm I couldn't get across before. It's really, really cool. You get a yo-yo at some point. You can use to like control some of the animals in the well, the break obstacles. You'll get tons of other things that will help you advance throughout this world. And utilizing them to their fullest takes a lot of experimentation and a lot of like kind of intuition here as well. Like I got the yo-yo and thought, wonder if this breaks things, and sure enough it does. You can unlock secret items too toward the end of the game, items that you don't necessarily need. Some of them are actually locked behind a wall that only unlocks once you get enough Easter eggs. These are nice little things scattered throughout the world, ranging from doing something really basic like doing a small puzzle to something ridiculous like doing some advanced like almost bullet hell kind of platforming and maneuvering. It's crazy. And getting a certain amount of these will unlock certain things. The flute is one that you get, I think, first. You get just a small amount of these eggs that are readily, easily available early on in the game. Once you get enough, you'll unlock the flute. But then some other things are locked behind the walls as well. You'll get extra bonuses for how many eggs you finally get. I did not fully complete this game. I didn't quite feel driven enough to beat it. I liked it a lot. I had a really good time with it, but there is a ton to do. And because it's so like nebulous on what you're supposed to do all the time, even following a guide could be really, really difficult. It's one of those games that is, the more time you put into it, the more time you learn into like looking for background clues and solving the little puzzles of the game, the more fun it can become for sure. But that wasn't it. I just wasn't quite driven enough to do everything. Now I did go for mostly like full completion in terms of the storyline and doing everything that I could in that degree. I didn't do the extra content though, but I had a great time going from start to finish. This game is a platformer first and foremost. The new items give you tons of ways to experiment in the world. Some of the items you need to beat certain bosses. Once you complete the main objectives, you like finish the game, but then you have all this end game content. This game is very content rich. It's very, very fun. It's a wonderful platformer with tons of secrets. If you're into the very like mystical, like very clue heavy gameplay and finding out these puzzles, you are absolutely going to love Animal Well. There's so much content in here for you. For me, this game is a phenomenal platformer, and I wasn't quite enticed enough to do everything in the game. Not like a game like Tunic. I actually did go for full completion in that game and really loved even going for the secret stuff. Same kind of tone. I liked it a little bit better in Tunic than it was in Animal Well, but not saying that it's bad in Animal Well, because it really is a phenomenal game. So whether you're going for just beating the main storyline and getting as many secrets as you feel like getting, or going for full completion, this game really is worth your time. It's definitely worth the price of entry. It's a really cheap game. When it launched, people were talking about this as a Game of the Year contender, and I think it absolutely has a chance this year. There have been some really good games, but I think this one actually holds up. With that out of the way though, I'm going to be giving this one a gold ranking just because I didn't feel driven to get everything in the game, but it is one of the best platformers I've played in a very long time. Easily the best platformer this year. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.